They'll
Go
win.
3. So breakups are hard enough,
Yeah.
right? But like when your ex just won't move out, ugh, it's the worst.
Yeah.
That's where we come in. This is the deep dive. And you guys sent us this YouTube video. It's from the Legal Strategist. And it's about how to evict your ex legally. And we are going to help you untangle all the legalities, figure out what you can do, hopefully get your home back without too much stress.
Yes.
All right, so we can't just like serve them papers and be done with it, right?
Yeah.
There's a process. And the first thing is figuring out, is your ex even like a tenant, or are they just a guest who's kind of overstayed their welcome?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you'd think it would be kind of obvious, but it can be tricky. The law really hinges on this 30-day mark. So if they've been living with you for 30 days or more, or like if they contributed to rent at any point, even if you don't have a formal lease, they could actually be considered a legal tenant.
It's like you accidentally gave them the keys to your place.
Exactly. It's like giving them legal rights without realizing it.
So let's say you've been dating someone for a couple months. They're at your place a lot. Maybe they even help with groceries or bills. Could that like accidentally give them tenant rights?
Yeah, it definitely could. And that's where things get really messy. People always think that if there's no lease, it's fine. But the law sees it differently. That 30-day mark and any money they've given towards housing can totally shift things, you know?
Like a legal trapdoor.
Exactly.
You just fall right in.
Yeah.
Okay, so they've been there over 30 days, or they help pay rent a few times, so legally they're a tenant. What's next in this whole eviction maze?
Okay, so once someone's officially a tenant, you can't just tell them to leave. You have to, like, formally end their right to be there, right? It's called a notice to quit. You have to serve them this written notice, and it has to be done properly with the correct wording, the correct delivery method, and, like, within the timelines set by your state's laws.
Okay, so what does properly even mean? Can I just text them and be like, hey, you got to go?
Definitely not. A text could help your case later, but it's not legally how you serve a notice. It's about building like a paper trail. So the video recommends certified mail, so you have proof they got it. And you should also deliver a copy in person.
Wow, so I got to become like a legal expert overnight.
Well, yeah, it's all about documentation, keep copies of everything, text messages, emails, notes, you've left them, anything like that. Because even small things like that can become really important later on.
Okay, so we've got the formal notice, and we're keeping really good records.
Yeah.
What if they still refuse to leave?
Right, well then you might have to file an actual lawsuit.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's called a complaint for unlawful detainer. Basically, it means you're saying they're living in your property illegally.
Unlawful detainer. That sounds so serious.
Yes.
So how do we even file this complaint?
You file it with your local court, and there's usually a fee somewhere between $50 and $500. The court will set a hearing date, and remember all those documents we talked about. That's where they come in handy. Having your lease agreement, the notices you served, proof of rent payments, any communication, having it all organized will really help your case.
Okay, so I go to court with all my evidence, like a courtroom drama. What happens at the hearing?
Well, it's a formal legal thing, so you have to be prepared. You present your case, explain why you're saying they're illegal. The judge looks at everything, and if it's all good, they'll probably rule in your favor.
So if I win, can I just go home and be like, get out?
Not quite.
Oh.
The court gives you something called a writ of possession. This basically lets law enforcement step in and actually remove the person.
So I can't just do it myself?
Absolutely not. It has to be law enforcement. Don't try to force them out yourself, changing locks, shutting off utilities. That's all illegal. It's called self-help eviction. It's against the law, and it could even give your ex a reason to sue you.
Okay, no vigilante justice, got it. But what if it's more than just them not leaving? What if there's like abuse or threats involved?
That's when you look into getting a restraining order. It's a whole other legal process, and it's really important if you're concerned about your safety. A restraining order can stop them from contacting you or even coming near your property.
Makes sense. So we've covered the eviction process, the paperwork, the fact that I can't just kick them out myself, and restraining orders. Anything else we should keep in mind?
Yeah, the video really stresses getting legal help, especially if it's a complicated situation. A good landlord-tenant attorney can be super helpful. They know the laws in your state. They can help you prepare for court and make sure you don't run into any legal problems.
So if it feels like too much, a lawyer can be like a guide through all of it.
Exactly. And remember, we're just giving you information, not legal advice. Always talk to an attorney for advice specific to your situation.
So to sum it up, evicting an ex is a legal thing, but it is possible. Know your rights, follow the rules, keep good records, and don't be afraid to get legal help. Now here's something to think about. Imagine you've got your place back. What positive changes are you excited to make? It's a fresh